Okay, YouTube. Here again with another gun review. As you can see, some of you may have them, some of you not. I don't know. But I just recently bought 1851 Navy Replica. It's made by that company right now, there, which I cannot pronounce the name. So anyway. Cap and ball revolver, single action, 6 shots. A lot of people call them Navy 6s. It's pretty nice. Looks really good. As you can see, it's a little dirty because I was out shooting it earlier. And this video is going to be a review and take down and clean apart. So it may be a couple of videos here. So bear with me if it is. It's pretty simple to operate. It's got some good weight to it. I used Hornady black powder. It's 44 caliber, and they're 451 number balls, and they're 100 quality. And there, as you can see by the price, it's $13. And CCI percussion caps number 11, and they were $5.99. And Pyrodex pistol pellets, just to show you an idea of what they look like. They work fairly good. I ran probably close to 45 rounds through it. Well, probably not exactly 45, but it's a little black powder pellets. It's not actually black powder. It's a little bit cleaner than black powder, but it's still dirty. I mean, still a lot dirtier than smokeless powder, but it's a safe substitute that you can use. As I said, it's a 44 caliber. People that I've talked to and reviews I've seen online, it's pretty much a 45 caliber. And as you can see, it got a nice muzzle on it, so it's real heavy. It weighs a little over 2 pounds. Brass frame, and I read a little in the manual, and it said that the brass frames are, if you use maximum loads all the time, it'll reduce the life of the revolver because brass is a softer metal. But you have your press, I guess that's what we call it, and it's a little friction clamp you pull down and it comes off. As you see, it goes down and presses the ball in there, and you half cock it and turn it the way you want it. You put your percussion caps on there. Alright, I shot it, happy, love it. Wouldn't trade it anything in the world. I think Cabela's, they're about $200 from Cabela's, right at $200. And you saw the prices of the powder and everything. That's all you really need to shoot it. You can buy some wads to help accuracy, but I mean, you know, let's face it, it's not going to be as accurate as you would like to be because it's a round lead ball. The barrel does have rifling in it, so that's one aspect of it. But I'm going to go ahead and start taking it down for you guys and show you how it is. This little pin right here, it's a wedge that comes out, and you have to tap it with the instruction manual also says this. You tap it with plastic or wood on this end right here. There's a little clip right there. You just give it a good tap and it pulls right out. You half cock it to right there, then you bring your press down and you press the barrel apart, and if it's fired like mine is right now, it's a little stiff to get open. The only reason why this one opens as well because I already took it apart a couple of times since I fired it. So, and then your cylinder comes off. So it's, you know, basic those basic 3 pieces to clean. I don't know how well this camera will pick it up. It ain't gonna pick it up too well, but the barrel is extremely dirty. It says hot soapy water to clean it with, but and they do have different solvents for black powder, but I use Hops number 9 or Hoppies number 9, however you want to say it, solvent, and it works pretty good. And I'm just gonna put normally what I start off with, toothbrush, kind of coat everything down with, so it'll start eating that solvent will start eating that powder up. And you do want to, after you clean this, you do want to put a light coat of oil, except around this side, this part where your caps go, and in your chamber, because of course if black powder gets wet, you're screwed. So we're just going to oil it up a little bit. You pretty much clean it like a regular gun, you know, any regular revolver. Run patches and bore brushes down there. If you do the reenactment type things, reenact battles, or you know, cowboy shooters, stuff like that, a lot of the guys will put black powder in there and then put cream of wheat, so you really don't have to use a bore brush, because it doesn't have any lead bedding in there. But if you shoot rounds, you will have to use a bore brush, which is fine. And I picked a 45 caliber brush out of my cleaning kit, because mine didn't exactly have a 44 caliber. And it's pretty much the same. After I get done wiping this down, I'll show you the guys that. But as you can see, I mean, it's just, if you think regular smokeless powder is dirty, this is nothing. That's nothing compared to this stuff. I mean, it's almost kind of greasy when you get a lot of it caked on there. It's kind of weird. But I'm gonna let that sit for a little bit, and make sure you get down in here, because it'll also, in the back of your hammer, it'll also get pretty bad down in there. Go ahead and put it to full cock and get it down in here. But I just took my 45 caliber bore brush. It should work fine, as you can see. Yeah, I don't know if you saw all that stuff shoot out right there, but it's pretty bad. So we'll dip a little solvent in there, let it run through. Now on these, sorry about that, the camera got in the way. Some of you guys might not know this, most of you probably do, but I'm going to state it anyway. Always when you're cleaning your bore, go completely through and then come back, because if you don't, it will tear up your brush. It'll start wadding it up and stuff like that. And see, I just did it. But I don't know, this 45 caliber is going through pretty easy. So I don't know, maybe you could go with a bigger caliber. Who knows? Because there's hardly any resistance in there, but it's good and wet down. And so we'll pick up the cylinder, because it's been soaking there for a little bit, and we'll start working on this. Most of it on the outside wipes off fairly easy on the blue one. It's not too bad. Of course, there's not a whole lot on there compared to the rest of it. But normally I'll take a toothbrush, buy 2 or 3 packs of toothbrush for, I don't know, $1, $1, $2 for 4 toothbrushes. Just old cheap toothbrush, and you know it get down in there pretty good. You want to make sure you clean out your holes for your percussion caps. And they make stuff that you can clean them out with, little clearers, but I don't have that stuff. You know, just thinking a normal person that bought this, how they would clean it. And you also want to clean in there too, but that, it looked fairly clean. It didn't look like it had a whole lot down in there. They also make nipple wrenches for your nipples here, and I don't know how well you can tell by this, but there's little flats on each side, and you take your little nipple wrench and they unscrew out, and that way you can sit there and soak them if you want to, or you know, what have you, to make sure they get real clean. I have been told by a couple of guys that and read in a couple of reviews that when you go to put your nipples back in, make sure you put just one tiny, just a little bit of gun oil on, not a whole lot, just on the threads. That way they won't seize up and stuff like that. You know, just pretty much make sure you get down in there and get everything out, all the yucky crap. And I'll buy bulk patches sometimes not, and you pretty much cut them to size. Of course, most of y'all probably already know that. I have my scissors here. Sorry about that. And it's pretty much cotton t-shirt material, so if you got some old cotton t-shirts, you could probably just make some out of there. The old scissors. But normally what I'll do is I'll take, you know, pull a piece off and pull it through your, whatever this thing's called, I have no idea. I don't know all the technical terms for stuff. Your patch holder, whatever. Yeah, look at that. That's nice right there. Mmm, tasty. Good old black powder. Gotta love it. That probably won't fit all the way in there, no. Twist it a little bit. And let's see. Yeah, you can see all the way through there. You can see that the little holes for your percussion caps to send the spark through to ignite your black powder. You can see those fairly well. This Pyrodeck stuff, though, it seems to be a lot cleaner than actual black powder, because some of the videos I've seen of people cleaning black powder, it's ridiculous how bad it is. I mean, they'll sit there for like 2 hours just cleaning one part. Not because they're meticulous or anything of that nature, it's just because it takes that long to clean them. And then sometimes I'll stick it in like this and just kind of push as much as I can in there in that one cylinder. and just sit there and twist it. And it normally does a pretty good job. But I will tell you, this thing it's fun to shoot. I was a little apprehensive about them at first. I was like, black powder, you gotta buy this, you gotta buy that. It takes so long to load and all this. But you know what? I think that's kind of the fun of it, you know. Especially, you know, people that enjoy history. You know, and you sit there and you think, well, this is what my ancestors who fought in the Civil War had to go through. You know, starving and cold and wet all the time, and you know, then you gotta fight a battle, and most of the time it was, you know, someplace you just really did not want to be. And then on top of this, have to use, you know, equipment like this. And at the time this come out, I mean, this is state of the art, you know. Most people were carrying around muskets, flintlocks, and, you know, cap and ball revolver with 6 shots in there. Like, yeah, man, that's what I'm talking about. You know, you got 6 shots, it's a whole lot better than having 1. So, you know, I think it's kind of fun. And the pellets, the Power Dex pellets, they help out a lot. I mean, it's a whole lot quicker reload because you don't have to measure your powder or none of that. You can just drop them in there and go. Drop them in, press the ball in, and you can put your caps on. I mean, I was sitting there just piddling, and I reloaded it in like 2 minutes. I really wasn't hurrying, but you know, beats measuring it out. Now some guys, they'll sit there and they're strict traditionalists, and they'll use the black powder, or you have to measure it out and, you know, put your wad, put the grease in it and everything, and you know, which is fine, which, you know, I may do at one point in time, and I will get a shooting video and reloading video out there for you. I actually meant to do it today when I was shooting, but by the time I got over there and started shooting, halfway through I remembered, oh crap, I forgot my camera at the house. So I do apologize for that, if anybody was curious as to how well they shoot. I do notice some inconsistencies. I don't know if it was with the powder charges or with the diameter of the ball, you know, being lead balls. But when you shoot, sometimes it'll be a real loud pop, almost like a modern day sound of a firearm, and then sometimes it'll be a real low sound, more like a black powder sound. I don't know if that's inconsistency with the powder charges or what, but I didn't have a problem out of it. It shot really well. I had one part where my cap didn't go off, but I just left it on there, you know, pointed down range a couple of minutes, made sure it didn't have a slow burn. That's another thing I was told to look out for, is slow burn. You know, you hit your cap and it doesn't go off immediately, and you have to sit there and wait a couple of minutes, because it, you know, the powder might not ignite when it's supposed to. It might have what they call a slow burn. Then all of a sudden it goes off, and you know, you pull the trigger and shoot it, it don't go off. Then you pull the hammer back again, and that sends that round over that way, and then all of a sudden that round goes off, and yeah, you're gonna have a pretty bad day, in my opinion. Alright, I think we're gonna call that one good for sake of time. We'll leave it there. Pick up the thing, and most of this is, your cylinder will take most of your time to clean. because, you know, it's got the most detail, I guess, in it. And you pretty much, on the outside of your pistol, you pretty much just rub it down. Let that sit there and soak. Run my toothbrush on this again. And it looks on your, I don't know what the technical name of this is, your axle for your cylinder, whatever. But if you look, it has grooves in it right there. And make sure you clean those out real good. You know, a toothbrush works wonders when cleaning guns, you know, because it's soft nylon bristles, it doesn't damage any of the metal. And it gets into crevices, you know. I look at it like this: if it's good enough for your teeth, it's good enough for my guns. By far. I did buy this used. Did not buy it Cabela's. Bought it used. And I don't know if the guy who had it before me had tried to take it apart at one point in time, but while I was shooting today, this screw right here, which does your reloader, just decided to fall out, and had to spend about 30 minutes looking on the ground for it. I was pretty upset about it, but I did find the screw and put it back in and fired it some more. I actually tightened it up, so I don't know if maybe the screw was just loose and I didn't notice it beforehand, or if it just, you know, became loose. But once I tightened it back down, fired it again, it didn't loosen up. If you get one like this, you might want to put some blue Loctite on it just to make sure, just to be on the safe side, because that's kind of an important piece to, you know, lose, because you can't fire it if you lose that, because then you have no way to press your balls in, and then, you know, what are you gonna do? You'll have a good looking gun that just sits there and collects dust. And me, I look at it this way: a gun is meant to shoot. I don't care if it was made in 1851 or in 2001. Whether it's black powder, flintlock, or smokeless powder, cartridge based, muzzle loader, breech loader, whatever. It's designed to shoot, and that's what you should do with them. My opinion, I don't care if it's Wild Bill Hickok had it, I'm still gonna shoot it. You know, it's my opinion. You can see back here all the crudiness. As you can tell by this video, it's taking a while to clean this. And this is after it was clean before I started shooting it. And this is only after let's see, 40 something rounds. So it's 42 rounds is what I shot out of it today. And this is how dirty it was. Now, I did notice when I was shooting it, after a couple of loads through, and when I say loads, I mean cylinder full, so it'd be 6 shots per load. The cylinder and the hammer wanted to kind of stiffen up. And the reason why it is because the black powder builds up so much, so fast, that it was filling the gaps in the tolerance and just making it where, you know, it wasn't even, you know, closing up. But I did notice all you got to do is kind of half cock it and spin the cylinder around till it feels like it's spinning freely, and may even just, you know, take it down and wipe the cylinder off right here and kind of brush this part off right in here and pop it in there and keep on going. It seemed to work pretty good after that. Sorry about that. And for those of you who are staying to actually watch this video, I do appreciate it. If you don't want to watch, you know, if you don't want to watch, you don't have to watch. You know, I'm just putting this out there because it took me a while to do some research to find out some of this stuff. And I was like, well, I can just put it out there for the people, and they find this video and they watch it. If they watch the whole thing, they'll know as much as I do about it, which is not a whole lot, but it's more than what I started. And they also said on a couple of people had pointed out that you want to clean the slot for the wedge, clean all that out real good and clean the wedge out, and just put just one drop of oil and rub it with your fingers real good and then damp it off. That way when you put it back together, it won't seize up and it'll be easier to get off. And as I said, the outside, I mean, the outside just whites off just fine. And it's a fun gun. It's a fun shoot. I mean, I had a blast shooting this thing. Even reloading it, it was fun, you know. But you know, it also makes me appreciate the advances in, you know, firearm technology we have today, as opposed to 100 years ago, 150 years ago. And it's just, you know, it's amazing. Alright, YouTube, I'm going to end this part, and I'm going to make a second part, and see you on the next one. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments.